What is up, guys? TrueSlay is back here today, guys. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about 5 ideas I have to improve Castle Clash. If you guys ever watch my live streams, you know I like to talk a lot about ideas to improve video games, and I figured I might as well make it into a video series. So if you guys like these kinds of videos, please leave a like on this video and let me know in the description down below. But let's go ahead and get started. Starting off, guys, at number 1 is adding troop specializations into the game. If you guys know, troops are completely pointless in the current game state. It's been completely neglected by IGG. Whether they forgot about doing troop talents or not, it's completely worthless content that's just sitting there unused. So what if we add in troop specializations? And one idea I have for a troop specialization is to add a tree. Basically, you can go down 2 paths that spread into a bunch of different abilities and things they can gain from doing those paths. One idea is that I have is for the Savage Orc. Basically, you have two trees. One tree is called the Tree of Cleave, and the other tree is the Tree of Berserk. Basically, the Berserker tree gives you a base increase to attack speed by 5% when they're introduced into combat, and the Cleave tree allows them to hit an additional target while in combat. Then it spreads down into 2 different perks, whether it be the Blood of Allies for the Berserker tree. So one of the Salvage Orgs, whenever they die, they drop a pool of blood that if their fellow Salvage Orgs are in that pool of blood, they get a 5% damage resistance to incoming damage. Or if they go into the other tree, in the Berserk tree, they can get another increase to their attack speed whenever their comrades die, and they do a rallying call that gives them another 5% attack speed increase in combat. Or you can go into the Cleave tree, which you can obviously have another additional hit for one tree, and then another tree could have a whirlwind that has a chance to stun an enemy. Now, I know I went in a little bit in depth in this idea, but I really do think troop specializations or just introducing something like this to the troops could make them a lot more viable into the game, which is something that I feel like IGG has forgotten about in this current game state, and I hope they come and look back at the troops and actually make them actually viable again in the game. Number 2, adding in element damage and weaknesses into the game. The reason why I think this is a good idea, guys, and why I'm introducing to you this concept is very Pokemon-esque, I know, but it allows more diverse hero picks. It allows you to outplay a hero just because you picked a hero with a different element type, and it can definitely be used to make a lot of the older heroes more viable in the game if done right. This could add a whole new level of strategy to the game by making you have to build team comps around beating other team comps in the arena as well as even in HBM, because you have to find the weaknesses. Like, let's say Punkaduke's a fire type and you want to beat him, you're going to use a Sasquatch because he's an ice type. You get what I mean? It allows a more diverse way to play the game and strategize about beating other teams, and I think it would be a cool concept to introduce into Castle Clash. Number 3. Adding more unique traps into Castle Clash. As you guys might know, we have hero bombs and we got troop bombs, which basically deal damage to troops, and it's automatically activated when they come in range. Now, I would love if they add more traps in the game, especially if they could add more traps that are interactable. What I mean by this, you know, when you play HBM and you just sit there, you're just watching it go and hoping that you win. But what if they add some traps in that you can actually interact and choose when to activate them to make you more involved in the HBM? Like, here's an example of a trap I had in mind. Why don't you add in a pitfall trap? It basically allows you to take one monster out of the fight for up to a certain period of time before it gets released again. That way, you can definitely turn the tide of battle by activating this trap on a certain monster, even a boss possibly, and setting him down for 10 seconds outside of combat so he doesn't even move into your base. This is a really cool concept that I think would be interesting to implement into HBM. But if you guys have any ideas for different traps, put them in the comments down below. But that's just one idea. Number 4, add some kind of wall defenses. As you guys know, in Castle Clash, when it comes to heroes, the strongest heroes in the games are mostly flyer heroes. Heroes that can fly up and over walls and basically negate your defense, which is kind of annoying for someone who likes to design bases in Castle Clash. So why don't we add wall specializations that allow us to deal different kind of effects or damages to flyers in the game that go over our walls, whether it be a slowdown effect or even fire. As you guys know, walls have fire spewing out of them. Why can't we use them to damage heroes? That would be a really cool and interesting concept. That way we have more use for our walls instead of just, oh, we block troops that walk. Yeah, but what about those flyers? You know what I mean? If there was just a way to actually introduce something like that, where it would be more, you can actually think and strategize behind your base design, I think that would be really cool. And number 5, guys, is add a story mode. I know IGG's been skirting around this for a while, dropping little lore bits here and there with either in the hero descriptions or their new mode where you can basically get some free might as well as upgrade their talents even further. But I feel like they really need to actually make a story mode that you can follow and just like get to actually live in the shoes of these heroes. So I think they should really just start with Thunder God. I think Thunder God probably has the most interesting story to tell all the heroes in this game. You might think I have a hard on for Thunder God, but I really do love him. And hearing this story about him being the master of this Storm Eater guy and training him to be this cool, powerful god, and Storm Eater passing him, and then Thunder God getting smited down from the Celestial Peak, like, what is the story behind that? I really want to know. So if you added a mode that can give him additional like ability to his base skill, like give him an additional proc or something crazy like that, just to have a story mode to earn something like that, I think that'd be really cool and add so much more lore to the game and give us more of a structure to what is going on in this world, because I think that would be really cool, guys. And those guys are my ideas in improving Castle Clash. Does any of you disagree with? Any of you agree with? If you do agree with any of these, please share with IGG on their Twitter. I'll leave their Twitter handle down below. Get this message out so we can improve this game, because we as players have a lot of ideas and we love to see this game going in a way better direction than it has been currently. But other than that, guys, I'd like to thank you for watching. And remember, guys, to keep on chewing and I'll keep on slaying. See you guys on the next video. Bye-bye!